Okay, so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to glue in our vertical fuselage piece, the bottom fuselage piece. So you can just go ahead and fit it up. Make sure that your horizontal stabilizer is flush to the top of the fuselage, because there's a little notch there that this flush is against. Okay, so if there's a gap here, you've got that on wrong, and you need to cut it off and flush it to the top of the fuselage, the horizontal stab, and everything lines up perfect. You might want to grab a square and make sure, when you're gluing this thing down, everything's nice and square. So now that you got everything fitted, even this plate here is pushed down flat because maybe you didn't get it in the right spot or something. You can trim the foam if you didn't, by the way. Is you'll get your welders, okay, and you can, make sure you glue both surfaces. So I'm going to just start and go straight down this edge here. I'm going to grab all of these spots. I'm not going to glue on top of the servo though. I'm going to glue here and okay, and now I'm going to glue in all of my fuselage here. Just a nice bead all the way down. And sorry for the silence, guys. There's not much to say when you're gluing this stuff. Okay. Now I'm just going to run my finger on this so it's on both sides. It's not just down the center. I want it on the edges as well. Because this is kind of the bond that holds everything together here. So make sure you do a good job. Okay, now that we got that, line it up, place it down. Okay, and then I like to rock it back and forth a little bit to make sure that it's nice and glued and got good contact. One of the important things is to keep this plane flat on the table. You can weigh it down. The horizontal, the wings, the horizontal fuse, keep that all flat, okay? And now that you got it all wetted up, you're just going to slide this apart and let it sit for about 5 minutes. And we're going to push it back together, okay? Which I did get a little bit on my servo there. I'm going to pull that off because, like I said, you want to make sure that if you do have to replace some components, that it will come apart. Alright, so that's it to the next step, and thanks for watching. Okay, for the final assembly of the lower half vertical fuselage, I've weighed down the wings and the elevator, and I do that so everything stays nice and flat against the table. Okay, grab your square, make sure you have that ready to go, and we're going to slide this thing in to place, and this glue is going to be grabbing as we go, so you just want to get it in there and push it in. Okay, and we're going to be checking to make sure we're square before we rock it back and forth, because you can play with this a little bit and make sure it seats and stays to one side. Okay, so that looks square. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and rock it a little bit and make sure that I'm seated all the way against the fuselage. Okay, just a little bit of rock back and forth. Make sure that everything's grabbing the way it's supposed to. Alright. Check it in the front. I think I need to come over just a hair there. Yeah, that's nice and square. If you look down, and you can see that if it's straight or not pretty well from your eye. Okay, it's square. One thing I like to do is just push it down real good, and then I'll just rest the square up against the fuselage while it dries. Let me check the nose real quick. I need to come over just a little bit on that nose. And like I said, guys, I'm real picky with this stuff. I want it to be as good as I can get it. Alright. So we'll just let that stuff dry up for a while, and then we'll continue. Thanks for watching.